everyone, my name is Ryan Bruce, my friends call me Fluff, and today on Riffs, Beards, and Gear, we check out the all-new Modern and Massive 2 from GGD. So a revolution happened, 5-6 years ago with the release of the original Modern and Massive drum kit from Get Good Drums, GGD. Now they have released a sequel, Modern and Massive 2. We're gonna check it out today. And before we go any further, this is not a sponsored video. I have been checking out this plugin to find any potential bugs in a pre-release version. I was not asked to make a video for this plugin, nor do GGD have any input on the making of this video. I'm just making it because I think it's really, really cool. And I'm a longtime customer of GGD. All thoughts and opinions are mine. So Modern and Massive is a massive turning point, pun intended, to the MIDI drum game. And I really think they pushed the entire MIDI drum game forward, in my opinion, and they have come out with a whole bunch of plugins. However, there's always been something in the back of my mind going, are they ever gonna update Modern and Massive, the OG classic boy that's been used on a gazillion records? The answer today is yes, they have. All right, so I'm in Pro Tools. This is Modern and Massive in its complete stock form when you bring up the plugin for the very first time. A beautiful baby blue kit says hello. I'm just gonna try to systematically take you through each window and kind of show you everything as best as I can. Now notice, the first thing that's changed is I'm not in Contact. This is its own standalone plugin, okay? Contact is no longer required. I imagine, Contact is pretty notorious for being a headache on the back end. So congratulations to Get Good for breaking free of the Contact laser beam, as it were. So this is your kit. I'm just gonna click around. Now, the first thing I wanna draw your attention to is if you right-click a kit piece, you can see the available drums, and you can also audition them with these ears. There's ears everywhere without having to click on the kit and then tap the snare, all right? So you can just quickly find a sound. Notice that Tama Abe Cunningham Deftone snare? Mm-hmm. I really like the Noble and Cooley. Let's go over to the kick. I'm right-clicking. The aluminum kick's nice. I'm gonna select that. Now, for the toms, I usually turn off 2 of them just because I'm used to writing and being in the context of a 4-piece kit. Now, if I go to select either the snare or the kick, I have some options up here in the top right-hand window. I have levels, and I can control the individual levels of the snare, top, bottom, overheads, and the amount of snare in the room mics. I also have attributes, which is the velocity curve, how hard it sounds that it's being hit. I have envelopes, and then I have a one-shot window, which I can then layer Get Good one-shots, which are available right here. And once I pick one, you can't double up on them, because why would you want to do that? So for example, I'm gonna play my beat, and I'm gonna play around with the snare one-shot, and then we will play around with the kick one-shot. Now you can mess with the one shot as well. So I can audition it with the ear again. Now the snapper, the pitch is a little high for layering purposes, right? So the OG snare sounds like this. Snapper. And the thwacker. So I'm going to bring down this pitch a little bit while playing the groove, and let's just mess with the one shots. Okay, pretty good. Let's move on to the kick drum. I'm gonna just click the kick drum. It's going to let me open up the window. Let's see, so by itself, it's a good start. Let's layer this thing. I'm gonna play my beat. Playing with the gain and the pitch of the clicky, and then I'm going to add in another sample. I like that one. Now again, with one shot layers, there's no right or wrong. It's just whatever sounds cool, and I'm just kind of making a quick sample layer. Cool. Now you cannot do this with the toms or the cymbals, just the kick and snare as you typically would anyway. All right. Down here we have the drag and drop MIDI. We will get to the MIDI and the grooves in just a second, but I can drag this. This is where I would grab the MIDI that I like and drag it onto my timeline. I have play, loop, and speed if I want to slow down a groove. Let's go into the mixer window. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, let's go to the presets. So the preset window is utility presets, right? We have clean kits with minimal processing, and then we have factory presets, and then we have artist presets. Lots and lots and lots of presets. All right. This is a huge difference from the OG Modern Massive or just about any Get Good kit, really. These are very comprehensive, and we'll go through some of them in just a second, but there's so much here with the presets. Yeah, and you'll see why that's cool right now. Let's go over to the mixer window. If you guys are familiar with Tune Track, Superior Drummer 3 or anything like that, we have a full mixer, an internal built-in mixer with effects, plugins, and the ability to make sends within Modern and Massive 2. This is a massive improvement over the original. So, of course, we have our master bus. We have kick in 1, 2, kick sub. We have our kick one shot, where we have just our one shots on a specific channel. We have our snares on specific channels, as well as the one shot. Rack toms, hats, ride, splash, overheads, and 3 different room channels. Now, if I want to create a bus, I will simply come over here and create a bus. And there's my bus right here. Now I can drag this on over and group things however I want. For example, parallel compression bus. So I'll double click this and call it Smash. And we'll put in a vintage comp. And I don't know. I'm not going to be too precious with this. I'm going to keep the volume down, but I'm going to send my one shot to my Smash bus, and I'm going to make it pre-fader. Why not? Let's do the same thing with the snare one shot. And you know what? If I want, I can just option. Oh no, I can't do that with the sends. I can't do that with the plugins, which I'll show you in just a second. Let's make this pre-fader. Now I have the fader all the way down. I'm going to blend this in to the rest of the regular drum tones. Maybe I want to add some drive to it. Let's do that. Now, this also works and is applicable to anything within the effects, right? So I can create a reverb bus. I can create a transient bus, a limiter bus. I can do anything I want that you would normally do with buses external to the software internally now. It's pretty neat. So let's move on. Around here, you can alt-click, you can drag over individual effects. You have a master output, and you can also, of course, multi-out as you normally would. If you want to, we can create external stereo outputs and then create tracks and process outside of the plugin if we want. They didn't take that away, but this is more, it's like its own built-in DAW, and it's pretty neat. Now on our master bus, on our master drum bus, I know this is going red and I'm going over a little bit. I'm not concerned about it. I don't care. Now for our overhead track, let's click and see what inputs we have going into the overheads. If I want that kick a little less or mute it, I can just do that right here. Isn't that cool? Next, let's go over the mapping. The mapping is very comprehensive now. It is very comprehensive. Let's manage the map configs. We have all of the configs. So this is applicable, and you no longer have to remap basically anything anymore. You can just select, if you have MIDI that was created in Logic Pro Drummer, Avid Strike, PreSonus Impact XT, Cakewalk, DW Soundworks, you can just use this plugin without having to mess with your actual MIDI, keeping that intact. This is something that I wish all drum software had. This is probably my favorite addition as someone who has old MIDI, new MIDI, working in MIDI and drum MIDI with all sorts of different plugins, especially when I'm traveling. This is a godsend. Thank you, Get Good. Okay, let's get into some of the presets because I actually haven't heard these yet. I'm really curious on some of these. Artist presets. Zach Cervini, Def Hill Kit, great. Let's apply that preset. Okay, so now let's go to grooves. Grooves, I haven't found a way to import MIDI or have it part of the groove player to audition it. That's not that big of a deal. But if you get the packs from Get Good, I believe this comes with Modern and Massive. You have all of these various packs, and this is basically like a tune track songwriting style tool with beats. I had the BPMs not correct, so it doesn't sound correct, but you get the idea. So let's go to the kit that I ended up using and creating. This is what this same drum beat sounds like with my kit. And there you go. There is Modern and Massive 2 from GGD. Pretty good. I'm excited to kind of dive into this even further and spend additional time with this. Also, I'm stoked for the updates. I mean, if this is the starting point of the sequel to Modern and Massive, only where to go is up from here. Pretty good. I will link down below in the description if you'd like to know more about Modern and Massive 2. And with that, you've been wonderful. I've been Fluff. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.